Alright, so we back with another perfectly imperfect perspective. And if you haven't already felt the vibe isn't to say or show necessarily the right or wrong way to do certain things. It's more so to acknowledge a couple inalienable laws of the universe that you just can't get around. And I always live by the thought that a thought caused it all. And if you have an idea, you just gotta go on and take off with it and at least do something with it, right? You know, everybody has an idea, but how many people do something with it? There's another phrase I live by. There's people that talk about people, there's people that talk about things, and there's people who talk about ideas. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and be like, which one are you? And my way about going about things is not perfect, you know? I could say my million excuses. I sure got them. I don't got a this. I don't got that. I don't got a rich that. Somebody who just helped me out all day, baby me, all type. You feel me? A million excuses, but my main thing is transparency and just to do something. So what? Who cares, bro? A million people sitting on their ass ain't did shit all day today, but playing their ass probably. So by just doing something, you already ahead of the game, and that's just my only superpower probably, is that I could just keep it moving at all times. It's that Leo energy. I got a lot of energy. I can do this, that, da, 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 da. So don't get tired, because I'm still up. But anyway, bring me back to the word of the day. Today is energy too, and how it never dies. And it made me think of, okay, human beings are basically a ball of energy. As mama would say, just like a little ball of me or something, right? Energy. In the Greek definition, it was called energia. Activity is the quantitative property that is transferred to a body or to a physical system, recognized in the capacity to do work in the form of heat and light. Energy is a conserved quality. The law of conservation of energy states that energy can be converted in form, but not created or destroyed. It can be converted in form, but not created or destroyed. Ain't that something, right? So it made me think, like, what are humans made of? And humans are quantitative. Like, you can write down the properties that make humans, like 60% water, a little phosphorus. I found it. 60 to 70% water, and there's carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen. There you go, right there. 16% protein. Then I was like, all right, so you can damn near get the compounds to make a human body, and they can clone people. But what about that part of the body that, you feel me, that gives them their personality, that energy, that spirit? And then I was like, where do consciousness lie? And I'm like, the brain. That's why I think it will probably be in your brain. I was like, how long can the brain live? And shit, Google said the brain could potentially live for centuries under ideal conditions. I'm like, wow. So often, I think people think we live in like the technological age now. But I'm thinking we might live in what is really the Stone Age now, and the technological age had to been back then. If they still don't know how they made the pyramids now, but they were made back then, don't that kind of in itself prove that we a little less advanced, or we missing something? Like, we only investigated 5% of the ocean, but we went to space, supposedly. Shit just don't be making sense. But besides all that, And coming back to the transparency and stuff, I know if there's something I would have listened to better, if I just would have listened better in life and paid attention to the few people who were speaking to me when I was younger, I'd have been a lot better. You feel me? Not listening to people my age. You don't need to listen to nobody your age. And even if you don't necessarily agree with somebody, it don't mean you can't gain something from them. The point isn't to agree or disagree, for that matter, is to have a thought. And like I said, a thought caused it all. If you can think about something, maybe that'll give you more options. You feel me? Coming from situations where you don't have as many options, it really make you think. Because if you got a mind like me, you come in how I'm coming, we gonna do what we want to do anyway. So rules and all that shit don't even matter. So you gonna always think of a way to do what you want to do, right? When you wanted to do that shit you weren't supposed to do, you still found the way to do it, right? It's the same way. It's like it's always a way. And the way that technology is getting a little bit ahead of what people think, like you really gotta catch up, because there's always a way to get what you need done, for real, for real. The technology just making it easier.